Hi, I'm Jeff Heil, and this is my wife, Chris Hopkins Heil.
And we'd like to start by thanking you very much for giving us an opportunity to come and tell you a little bit about our business and to give us the opportunity to apply for this wonderful grant.
Yeah, this is a really great idea. Whether or not we get it this time, it's a very nice thing for you to be doing. We are here because our business is Dancing Bird Art Gallery and Music Shop. The shop is located at 1393 2nd Avenue, which is on the north side of the main street across from Cumberland Federal Bank. There are two parts to our business. It's a music store and it's an art gallery. I'd like to talk about that. And then I'd like to tell you why we have applied for this grant and how we think this will be good for our business and for Cumberland. To kind of summarize that first, we need to provide better handicapped access at the front of our building. We need increased energy efficiency up there. We need to be good stewards of the good buildings that are in Cumberland on the main street. And we need to increase our curb appeal. So that's something I'll return to in a little bit. Now about our business. First of all, the music store. The music store has, it's primarily a guitar and string shop. So it has guitars and it has folk instruments and it has violin family instruments. And its growth has been rather unexpected, actually. When we opened, I did not expect to be having as large a music store as we have. So I got some guitars in there, and I like guitars, so that was very easy for me to do. And I got strings, so I wouldn't have to go to some other town to get them. And then I found that really what everybody wants is their instrument to be fixed. So over the last 15 years or so, I've begun doing all manner of repairs and customizing of guitars and stringed instruments. That's a staple of our business now, and it's something you can't buy online. You have to come to the store to get your instrument fixed. So that will put us in good stead for the future, for sure. The art gallery, we started, I started an art gallery or an arts business in 1984, but we moved to town in 2007. If you can recall back to 2007, that was a bleak time for Main Street in Cumberland. There were a number of stores that were empty and deteriorating on the outside. And I was working for some folks who were entertaining the idea of fixing some of those buildings and starting their own businesses in those places. And so I got the opportunity to put my money where my mouth was, and I opened my store at that time. So we restored the building, and we started to add some, or sell some artwork in there. The gallery represents between 30 and 40 local artists and craftspeople. And over the course of time, you know, there's between 100 and 200 artists probably who have shown their work in there. But we have just a few examples of some of the things that we show in the gallery. The first two I'm going to show you are from artists who are trying to make their way in the world with artists as their main job. The first is Sue Sharmer Fries. Sue Fries is a Cumberland native, now lives in Roseville, Minnesota. She has photographs in our shop, but she has also recently applied her photographs to masks. So, you know, we have mask fashion. Heather Dubois runs Blue Moon Studios, which is a shop in rural Clayton. And she makes inexpensive hand-stamped jewelry and hand-scented candles. Those are very popular in our shop, actually. And then Joe Clark, who you probably know from Snowshoe Valley Christmas Tree Farm, makes really quite beautiful handmade wood utensils. And this is an example of one of his. Bill Neff is a local guy too, who does hand-turned bowls. And so those are some of the examples.
We've got several potters in the store. This is Scott Sandy. He lives up just past us in Timberland area. Joe Stunts, another Native American.
Cumberland native.
I'm sorry.
No, he is not a Native American, actually.
We do have several Native Americans in the store too. No, he's a native Cumberland guy. Marty Peters, who I think everybody in the area recognizes as one of their favorite Cumberland photographers.
And this is an example of watercolor by Kurt Jacobs, who some of you may know as a veterinarian. He's a retired veterinarian, and he came into the store with watercolors. And so he's got watercolors, and we made some of them into cards, and he's got a number of sizes, and it was really a delightful surprise for him to show up with watercolors. So it gives him an opportunity to show his stuff there too.
You want to tell them a little bit about some of your work?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, your painting's over there.
Here it is.
Here, I'll hold
Maybe
it.
I go off the camera for a moment,
Here.
and I'll come back.
I'll hold it.
All right. So I also do work paintings. I paint on constructions. This is a wood construction that's painted on. And I do murals. I've done quite a few murals in the area, and all the way down to Cottage Grove, Minnesota. Often church murals, in fact.
Many of those.
And I also have begun to work on the faces of guitars. I would return to this. I'll come back to this in a moment. You go ahead.
Okay. So, some of the work I do, I am a portrait artist. I've been doing that for many, many years in the area. I am very interested in upcycle artwork, so I do a series of pillows, my bird's nest pillows. They're made from vintage linens paired with modern day upholstery material, my snarky aprons. This apron used to be a pillowcase, and they become something new, and my table runners. I also do jewelry. I'm wearing a sodalite necklace I made. I work in natural stone and silver. I also make some Cumberland jewelry. This has a Cumberland map on it. Back to you. Oh, we do these together.
We're competitive, actually, when it comes to guitar straps. That was kind of unexpected, too, that we could maybe bring those to market and be competitive.
Yeah, so we make these together.
Anyway, now back to the grant and what I think it might be good for us and for Cumberland. I think that we're approaching another time, not unlike 2007, when our Main Street was at risk. And it's twofold. It's partly because of the threat of online retailers and also the pandemic, the recent pandemic. Many businesses are not going to make it out of that pandemic. So we would use this grant, first of all, to make our place handicapped accessible, so somebody in a wheelchair can get in and out. And secondly, we need to revamp our storefront so that it's easier to see in there, particularly in the winter. Our glass is old, and you can't see it in the winter. It's all frosted up. And I think that one of the things that we're all going to need to do in Cumberland and on most main streets is we're going to have to join the online community, but we're also going to need to make our storefronts aggressively attractive. So in other words, when someone comes by, we're going to need to turn their heads and so they look out. And when they walk by, they're going to have to stop. But most of our customers drive by first. And that brings me back to the guitar. This guitar is made, to be fun to look at, but it's made to be fun to look at from a car driving by. So you can't miss it from there. And this grant, I know that we priced it, it's $13,800 to redo our front. This grant would make this attainable for us. We could manage it. And I thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you.